Hey everyone, welcome back to the Banana Thumbnail Podcast, where we bring thumbnails to life to crush the competition. Today we've got something really cool to chat about. Absolutely. We're diving into a common pain point for creators: why your Kling AI thumbnails might be failing. This is something I know a lot of folks struggle with for sure. Have you ever spent an hour in Kling AI crafting what you thought was the perfect video cover, only to see your clicks flatline at 2%? Oh man, yes. That is such a frustrating experience. It feels like you've put in all that work for nothing. Exactly. So let's break down the reasons why those thumbnails might not be performing well. First off, many creators are facing an issue called visual saturation. Visual saturation? What's that all about? Great question. It means that if you're relying too heavily on Kling AI's generated images, your thumbnails might end up looking just like everyone else's. Research shows that this can lead to 21 to 33% visual saturation in user feeds. Wow, so if everyone's thumbnails look the same, that really lowers the chances of getting clicks, right? Exactly. Creators can see as much as a 37% drop in click-through rates if they don't manually curate and edit those images. So it's not just about making something that looks good, it has to stand out too. Absolutely. Now, if you're an intermediate creator or running a small agency, you might be facing a different set of challenges, especially when it comes to scaling your output. Right, like trying to crank out a bunch of thumbnails quickly? Exactly. But if you hit a wall with Kling, you've got to understand the platform's limitations. For example, the free tier only allows you to generate 10 thumbnails a day. 10 thumbnails? That's hardly enough for a serious channel. I know, and when you try to push for more, you might run into massive API delays. I've seen people waiting up to 18 seconds per thumbnail during peak hours, which can really kill your momentum. That sounds so frustrating. So, what's the workaround for that? Well, if you really want to dig into the technical side, understanding how different rendering engines handle loads is key. But for most, it's about knowing how to use the tools effectively. Got it. Now let's talk about YouTube and the issue of unoptimized thumbnails. Yes, this is really important, especially for bigger channels. YouTube actually flags about 12% of unoptimized Kling thumbnails for low-quality compliance issues. So if the thumbnail looks spammy or low effort, the algorithm just buries your video, right? Exactly. And when that happens, your return on investment can drop by a whopping 27%. Jordan, yikes. So what should creators do to avoid getting flagged? Alex, they need to follow YouTube's guidelines closely. If your image looks too artificial or doesn't meet their visual standards, you're going to run into trouble. That makes sense. And using better design practices can really boost performance too, right? Right. Optimized thumbnails can improve video retention by up to 22.6% just through better contrast and text placement. But Kling AI can miss the mark on this without manual tweaks. Got it. So you really need to know some basics about color theory and composition to make it work. Exactly. And now let's discuss how predictive CTR scoring can help you avoid these. Kling AI fails. Predictive CTR scoring? That sounds fancy. What's that all about? It's a data-driven approach. Top creators are using predictive scoring tools to inform their thumbnail decisions rather than just guessing. I remember hearing about MrBeast using something like this. Did it really help? Yes, they were testing generic Kling thumbnails and only getting about a 4.2% CTR. After integrating predictive scoring, they bumped that up to around 5.8%. That's a huge jump, so it really does take the guesswork out of the process. Exactly. Predictive scoring analyzes emotional impact and visual clarity with impressive accuracy, guiding creators to choose the best colors and layouts for their audience. So, if creators are struggling with Kling AI thumbnails, what are some alternatives out there? Alex, good question. If your current setup is failing, you might want to check out dedicated platforms like Thumio for about $19 a month, or Canva, Magic Studio, which has a fantastic free tier. Those sound like great options. How do they stack up against Kling? Well, many optimized tools achieve a 5.8% average CTR, while Kling's generic outputs only yield about 2.1%. You really can't compete if you're using the wrong tools. Wow, that's a big difference. It's all about efficiency, right? Exactly. Tools like these can reduce production time by up to 92%, which is huge for creators trying to keep up with uploads. So to wrap this all up, what should creators take away from this conversation? Just remember to add your own human touch to your thumbnails. Watch out for those API limits and start using data to predict your clicks. Great advice. Thanks for all the insights today, Alex. No problem. That's a wrap for this episode of the Banana Thumbnail Podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one.